The Second Book of the Kings. The division between the first and second book of Kings is purely artificial, as there is no break in the narrative or alteration of point of view, except that the account of the actual fall of Jerusalem was written later than the rest during the exile. There is, however, a striking contrast of character between the protagonists of the two works, the stern and solitary Eliyahu coming out of the wilderness and retiring into it, dramatic and mysterious, irreconcilable in his hostility to the reigning powers of his day, was the type latter seen in Amos and John the Baptist. The milder figure of his disciple Elisha, on the other hand, is that of one who belongs to a movement instead of initiating it. He is emphatically the world of men, the sons of the prophets, in whose company he is found, is semi-professional association. In fomenting the rebellion of Yahu, he enters directly into political life, as regards statesmanship, unwisely so, since however beneficial Yahu's fidelity to the religion of Yahweh may have been, his ruthless slaughter of the opposing faction further weakened the strength of the kingdom. The hope of exercising direct influence upon the monarchy was often present to the prophets, and in the case of Yeshaya, I know it's Yah at the end. Yeshaya was superbly realized, but it was very dangerous to their independence and integrity, as the attainment of political influence brought with it great temptations to corruption. In the years following Elisha, the order fell on such disrepute that Amos, who was, is it Amos or how do you say Amos? I don't remember. Who was to inaugurate the prophetic revival of the 7th century, stoutly declared that he was neither a prophet nor the son of a prophet. A special interest, the second book of the Kings, are the accounts of the reigns of Hezekiah and Josiah, the former for its reference to Yeshaya, and the story of Sennacherib's strange defeat, also mentioned by Herodotus, but attributed by him to an incursion of field mice which gnawed away the bowstrings of the Assyrian warriors, from which some modern critics have inferred that the Assyrian army succumbed to an attack of the bubonic plague frequently carried by rodents. The narrative of the reign of Uzziah, still more significant for its precious account of the discovery of the all-important book of Deuteronomy. And how does this start? The miracles of Elisha. And it came to pass, when God as noun and verb would take up Eliyahu into heaven by a whirlwind, that Eliyahu went with Elisha from Gilgal. And Eliyahu said unto Elisha, Tarry here, I pray thee, for God as a noun and verb sent me to Bethal. And Eliyahu said unto him, As God as a noun and verb liveth, and as thy soul liveth, I will not leave thee. So they went down to Bethal, and the sons of the prophets that were at Bethal came forth unto Elisha, and said unto him, Knowest thou that God as a noun and verb will take away thy master from thy head today? And he said, Yes, I know it. Hold ye your peace. And Eliyahu said to him, Elisha, tarry here, I pray thee, for God as a noun and verb hath sent me to Yerchu. I don't remember how you say Jericho, but definitely without the J sound. And he said, As God as a noun and verb liveth, and as thy soul liveth, I will not leave thee. So they came to Yerchu, and said, and the sons of the prophets that were at Yerchu came to Elisha and said unto him, Knowest thou that God is now number will take away thy master from thy head today? And he answered, Yea, I know it. Hold ye your peace. And Eliyahu said to him, Tarry, I pray thee, here, for God is noun and verb, hath sent me to Jordan. And he said, As God is noun and verb liveth, and as thy soul liveth, I will not leave thee. And they two went on, and 50 men of the sons of the prophets went, and stood and went afar off. We have that number 50 again. And they stood by Jordan, and Eliyahu took his mantle and wrapped it together, and smote the waters, and they were divided hither and thither. And so that the two went over the dry ground, and it came to pass, when they were gone over, that Eliyahu said unto Elisha, Ask what I shall do for thee before I be taken away from thee. And Elisha said, I pray thee, let a double portion of thy spirit be upon me. And he said, Thou hast asked a hard thing. Nevertheless, if thou seest me when I am taken from thee, it shall be so unto thee. But if not, it shall not be so. And it shall come to pass, as they still went on and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire, and parted them both asunder. And Eliyahu went up by a whirlwind into heaven, and Elisha saw it, and he cried, my father, the chariot of Yisrael and the horsemen thereof. Now, that could have been a post-death scene, if you see from certain other contexts that he still could have died a natural way.